All right, folks, I'm going to get started here. I appreciate all of you being here, and I am recording this so that you can go back and get more content and more value out of it. So you might just want to listen the first time and then maybe set some time aside and go into your business and work on your niches. So what are we going to talk about today? So today I want to talk to you about nifty niches, and what I'm going to cover is how to think about how to, design a niche in your real estate business. So before we kind of jump into that, I just want to tell you who I am. So I've been a realtor for over 15 years. I always find that that's important whenever I'm watching someone else and learning from someone else to make sure that the content is coming from someone with experience and relevant content. I've done over 1,000 personal transactions, been involved in several thousand more through my team in the past 15 years. And I'm a really, really big believer of hard work. And from most realtors that are successful, hard work is the foundation of their business. And yet, as we get longer in the business, as we get more experience, we got to find ways of hacking our way into efficiency. And one of those is to design a niche, because a niche allows you to get more efficient, get more focus, get more value out of your time on task. And that's really, really important, because as you get more into your career and as you get, less motivation based out of fear because you've established success, it is hard to continue doing the things you need to do. And what we know as successful realtors is that the bulk of our activity and the core job that we always have is finding more business. It's lead generation, it's relationship building. And so designing a niche that fills your passion, and we'll talk about that, fills your bucket, we'll talk about that, and really aligns with who you are, I think is such an amazing way of getting efficiency into your real estate practice and making sure that it works well for the long term and that you really, really enjoy it. And so what I've sent all of you several times, hopefully by now, is a workbook called Nifty Niches That Make Money. And if you ever lose track of this, or if someone else is watching this video in the future, you can always find this document free of charge on our coaching website called Launch, Grow, Harvest. And so you can always download it from there. And quite simply, we're going to follow the workbook today, and I'm going to talk to that workbook that you could fill out as you go through it, or perhaps just listen to me right now and then later, put some time aside that you can go and work on your business. That's a really big hack of mine that I always put into my week. Some time where I am simply working on my business and not returning phone calls or problem solving. All right. So in your book, and what we're going to cover, we're going to do a review and reflect. We're going to talk about unique ability, what fills your bucket, drains your bucket. We're going to run through a long list, and it's still a relatively short list to what's out there of possible real estate niches. And then talk a little bit of how would you pick a niche, identify and research your niche, how do you develop expertise in that, touching on online presence, networking and partnerships, and target marketing campaigns. And we will finish with a little bit of a case study on myself and how I designed my own niche. And so hopefully at the end of this, you feel like you have the tools that you can go and get more focused if you already have a niche that's working for you. And if you don't, that you are getting the opportunity to create one so you get more efficiency, more value, and really enjoy your business that much more. I always bring up review and reflect whenever we're about to work on your real estate business, because you want to make sure that you understand where are you coming from, what has the last 3 to 6 months look like for you, what is currently working and what's not working that great, because you definitely don't want to make too many changes. When we make too many changes at once, we can't figure out what positive effect in the future came from which change. And so it's really important to kind of do small steps, but track it. And so what do I mean by review and reflect? All right, well, what you should fill out is, where are you in your real estate business right now? You know, where on that spectrum from brand new to retired are you? Where in that spectrum from loving it to hating it are you? What has been successful in the past 3 to 6 months for your business? What's been crappy in your business in the past 3 to 6 months? And then answer what makes you most happy or excited in your business that has been happening in the past 3 to 6 months. Answer what do you want more of and what do you want less of? And very importantly, where do you want to be in 1 year? We often, are just caught in the day-to-day tasks and are missing our opportunity of where we could be 1 year down the road. And so that is really, really important to track and to think about. When you're working on designing a niche for you and your business, part of what you need to answer is, what's your unique ability? And like Dan Sullivan says, the way that you can figure out what your unique ability is, it has 4 clear components. Okay, superior ability. What is something that you do better than other people, that people notice about you and brings value to others? Passion. What are you passionate about? What skill and ability do you like to share and bring to others? Energy. What energizes you and the people around you? They notice it. They notice that it really fills your bucket. It gets you excited. And then something, keep improving, something that you constantly can be working on, strengthening, and you never really place a ceiling on that skill set or that category. And that those 4 components put together is probably a really great way of you figuring out what your unique ability is. Beyond that, in your business, design a list like this where you are tracking what are all the things that are happening in your real estate business that are just filling your bucket, and what are the things that you're doing that are draining, or actually, so design a list that says what fills your bucket. So those are the positive things. Those are the things that in your job you always love doing. They bring a smile to your face. It could be, it could be touring with clients. It could be creating CMAs. Who knows? For each realtor, it's going to be different. The tasks that fill your bucket are going to be different from the tasks that drain your bucket. So on your path of, again, designing a niche, you want to figure out what is heavy, what is like luggage to my job that I don't really like towing around, but I do it because I know it has to be done. Put that in the bucket draining side, and then the things that bring a smile to your face, put that on your bucket filling side. And that's really important in the future when we, again, fine tune, when you figure out what your niche is that you want to focus on. And you might ask yourself, like, what possible niches are out there? So these are just a few. And each one of these, you could build a really big niche around. A niche could become, 50% of your business, could become more of your business. Now, 15 years into my real estate practice, I have met people that have created all types of niches. And for many of them, it provides at least a third of their business. To some, it provides all their business. And again, you got to remember that niche business will be your most favorite business. It will make you happy. And so that's really, really important, because it gives you energy and it rejuvenates you for all those other things that we do in the real estate world that are draining. All right. So jumping right in, a possible niche could be luxury homes. If you enjoy high-end, expensive properties in upscale neighborhoods, that might be something that you could consider. Some folks have a niche in first-time home buyers, where they're catering to individuals or families involved in the first-time home buying process, and they just do that again and again. Other realtors have a niche in investment properties, where they're helping all types of clients purchase their first or multiple investment properties. And that includes everything from flips to BRRRR strategies to you name it. But it's really focused on getting a return on a client's objective and investments. There's realtors that have a niche in commercial real estate. They might have started like us in residential, and they're now focusing more on commercial, on office buildings, retail space, you name it, commercial properties. I know several realtors that have a niche with vacation homes where they're focused on clients who are looking for a secondary home, be it within the country or within the area you live, or be it completely in a different part of the world. There are realtors that have green, sustainable homes as a niche where they're, focused on properties that are environmentally friendly and eco-efficient. You could have a niche focused around historic properties or heritage properties. And so those are homes and buildings with historical significance. And if that really fills your bucket, the people that will want to buy those and sell those are just like you. They're really into that historical stuff. And so how amazing would it be that, so much of your business could be focused around your passion? You could have a specialty in relocation services where you're assisting individuals or families moving into your city or out of your city. You could have a specialty that focuses on foreclosures and short sales if that's something in your market. And again, those are typically properties that are sold by lenders and it has a completely different experience. I know realtors that have a military relocation specialty, and that is a very strong niche because it's a tight community and it's a very strong referral source for them. And they pretty much do most of their business simply focused on relocation within the military organization. We have obviously amazing people that I know that have created a niche with senior housing, where they're specializing in providing housing for the elderly, or including, involved in helping them downsize and eventually perhaps move into assisted living. There are realtors that create a niche in condominiums or only focusing on townhomes. You could have a niche focused around rural properties, farm properties. You could be focused solely on helping clients with new construction. So you could be a master in that category, representing new developers and working with builders. You could have a niche in urban planning. So properties in the downtown or urban centers where that's all you do. You could be a waterfront properties specialist. You could specialize and have a niche in golf course communities. So that is, helping, again, people who have a big passion around golfing and they want to live by the golf course. Pet-friendly homes, co-housing communities could be a niche. Luxury rentals could be a niche, and that could be kind of a lead source into likely luxury sales. But again, that is a possible niche, all depending on what you're passionate about. Again, further niches involved could be student housing, doing international real estate. I'm seeing more and more of that where realtors, instead of retiring, they're getting passionate about their retirement plans and their hobbies, and they're traveling and creating, real estate opportunities in other countries and other areas, and thereby creating kind of an international real estate brand. You could have, again, Rio properties similar to bank-owned. You could be a specialist with probate estates. So you could work very closely with lawyers and all the folks involved in probate properties, and that could be your specialty, your niche. Or perhaps you're just working with multifamily properties where there's many doors to each sale. And the point in all of this, corporate housing, accessible homes, working with tiny homes, single family homes, or creating housing, finding housing for just the medical profession. The purpose of all those things that we just rambled on through is to figure out or to tell you there are so many niches, and really I don't think there's a right one or a wrong one. If you follow this process and if you follow your heart, like if it fills your bucket and it's a niche, there's business around it. There are so many people out there buying and selling that have the same interests like what you want to focus on. And so if you make that into a niche around your real estate business, it's a true win-win because it's going to, again, rejuvenate you and make you money. All right. So how do you pick a niche? Well, as we mentioned, you need to figure out what is your unique ability. What's the value that you offer? What fills your bucket? What kind of clients are you looking for? And what kind of clients make you happy? Okay, so let's say you pick a niche. Whatever your niche is, write that down when the time comes that you're at the stage and you say, my niche is this. Now you're going to build a SWOT analysis around that. Based on what you're choosing as your niche, you have to figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the big opportunities within that realm that excite you, and what are the threats? And threats could be that, maybe your niche is heritage homes, but you're in a location that doesn't have that many, and maybe they're being torn down. So that would be a threat. You figure all that out, and you're kind of going to have a really simple roadmap after that when you do your SWOT analysis. So identifying and researching your niche. You need to analyze your local real estate market to identify the underserved areas or the emerging trends in your niche. Consider demographics, economic factors, and lifestyle preferences, because those are constantly changing, and your niche is either going to get bigger, might be staying the same, or it's going to get smaller. So the opportunity is in line with that. You got to assess your interests and your expertise. So don't choose a niche that doesn't align with your passions or your strengths, that you're not enthusiastic about. And so you make sure that your niche, makes you excited, and that you have knowledge, and that you want to connect with those type of clients. You need to identify your competition. There's some very obvious niches that are out there, and there's typically in every market, there are realtors that are working that niche. Some are dabbling, some are specializing. So it is your job, when you're designing your own niche, to review who's already working in that niche, in that field. And how can you do better? Again, create a SWOT analysis on that competitor, figure out what they're doing great, what their weaknesses are, what the threats are, what the opportunities are. You need to develop expertise. So go find out create a list of all the education and all the certification that is available with regards to your niche that you want to design. And you need to go out there and obtain the relevant courses or designations that will enhance your credibility in your chosen niche. So for some of the more obvious niches, like luxury homes or working with seniors, that you've certainly heard other realtors doing, there's typically quite a few designations or certifications. So the good part is you can really, understand the nuances of that niche. The downside is probably has more competition because it's more organized. So figure that out. Continuous learning. You really want to stay up to date with all the latest trends. Make sure that your niche doesn't cross any regulations that you shouldn't be doing. For example, if you're a realtor, you couldn't create a niche that is focused on needing a finance license or something. Like your niche could pull you into an area that you're unregulated for, that you're unlicensed for. So just make sure you understand the regulations, gather market data related to your niche, and attend as many industry seminars as you can, workshops and webinars where you're meeting your competition, but you're also getting a lot of access to potential clients and learning from your peers. Once you've decided what your niche is, you want to build a strong online presence. And what that typically covers is, of course, a powerful website and a blog. So create a blog for your niche. It needs to be professional, focused on the key points that you want to emulate. Share valuable insights, market updates, and tips tailored to your target audience. You want to make sure that website now is SEO optimized, and figure out, based on your budget and your interest level, how much you're going to invest into that. You might have a skill where you can do your own SEO optimization, and otherwise you certainly need to put some budget aside for that. I find a lot of people who are growing their niches effectively, the SEO is kind of from each transaction, they're putting more and more money into building their online presence. So again, it becomes easier and business starts coming to you. Something that's available right out of the gate is social media. You could have very little experience in your niche, and you could, crush it through the right social media. Of course, build your social media brand on all the different platforms that you're going to engage on. More is not always the right answer. You might just want to pick one and do it really well, pick YouTube or pick Instagram, or you kind of sit on all of them and trickle your communication through all platforms. Content marketing. So really start a blog on your website, especially now with ChatGPT. You can create content really easily that is pretty darn solid, and it helps you with your ranking and helps being found online. And so create that content that's relevant to your niche, share that in your newsletters, and it just establishes you as an expert in your field. And again, improves your search engine rankings. All right, networks and partnerships, networking. So if there are obvious associations around your niche, join them. Become a member of a professional organization or groups relevant and related to your niche. For example, join the Urban Land Institute for Urban Living. Join National Association of Senior Movers if you're in senior housing. You can find a lot of direct associations that are relevant to your niche, and also general ones. So you could have a niche and you could join, for example, a business networking group, and it's more general, but it's giving you a lot of visibility and creating partnerships. You want to collaborate with professionals, so build relationships with the professionals who can refer clients to you. So based on your niche, figure out what are the inputs below and above, like before and after, when someone would be using you in that niche. Who are the people involved? Who are the professionals? And based on that, you know the people you need to target. You know the people that you need to build relationships with, because they're going to be either giving you the lead or you'll be passing them on to those people when you've done your job based on your niche. You want to create a targeted marketing campaign. So do direct mail, where you could send personal postcards or brochures or newsletters to potential clients in your niche. And again, the opportunity is always highlighting and introducing what message you want to convey. Email marketing, obviously, many of us have done that, building an email list from prospects and sending out regular newsletters. It's a way of, again, showcasing what you're doing, what your niche is, past successes, testimonials, and hopefully eventually when someone has received enough of them and when their opportunity comes up to give you a chance, they will call you. Online advertising is kind of like SEO. It's highly valuable. It's also highly expensive. So you need to figure out when you're going to incorporate that into your niche. And what you do is use targeted online advertising on the right platforms to reach your specific audience, an audience that you would otherwise not reach. And the cool part with niches is a lot of the way that you target the different audiences are built around keywords or language that really can cater your niche to be front and center. So you're not advertising or targeting people that have no interest in your niche. If it's crocheting, you don't need your ad going to someone that's only interested in machine guns, so to speak. Provide exceptional service. I mean, it goes without saying, but it's really, really important when you build a niche, because when you're building a niche, when you have a general real estate business, it's awesome because you're helping everyone. And if, for example, you have a poor experience with someone, you might have been like, life happens to realtors as well. So you might not be providing your best service at that moment. And if you're dealing with a general member of the public and they're not connected to all your other clients, it might not be that negative because the transaction ends and people move on. However, when you're working in a niche, most people know each other, especially if you're doing a really, really good job of building your visibility. So it's highly important that you approach your niche kind of like your ambassadors. It's your core advertisers of what you do. And so you got to make sure that you have a client-centered approach, understand the needs of your clients in that niche, and provide amazing service. And if there are hiccups, go and solve them. These are the clients you need to keep. These are the clients you need to make happy, because many of them will be talking to your future clients. And to that effect, make sure that successful past interactions and with testimonials, which will lead to referrals. So encourage your clients to leave reviews, thank them for it, and get testimonials. And often at that point, you can also ask if they know of anyone else that is just like them, who's looking for what you can offer. And so it's a great way of generating new business. You want to leverage technology. So, building a niche is a lot of uniqueness, but if you don't target it, if you don't label your database correctly, you can be cross-marketing to the wrong people, or you could be just missing out. And so you want to make sure that your CRM system has the ability to tag your data points, the people you're bringing into your database, so that they're tagged correctly, so the right communication is going to the right people. You want to automate follow-up, so you want to have a multi-touch step plan where automated, emails and texts and different touch points are going out to your clients, and so you are getting leverage. That's really, really important. Some people develop a custom app, and that is certainly a consideration now because the price of that has gone dramatically down. You could, you could develop that for your niche, and it'd be a great way of getting more clients, because it broadens your voice and makes you, again, an expert in that field. You want to monitor and you want to make adaptations, small changes. So I'm always a big proponent of tracking performance. And one way I do that is I have regular points in my calendar that I'm working on my business. And part of working on my business is brainstorming, it's strategizing, and it's reviewing and tracking past performance. It's seeing what is working and analyzing, where there are opportunity for improvements. So in your case, for your niche, regular analytics and seeing how your website is performing, watching how your leads are turning into clients and clients turning into testimonials and clients turning into referrals or not. Like if there's hiccups along the way, by monitoring and making adjustments, you have the ability to lose the least amount of time and make those adjustments so that you can get the best value for your time and adapt and evolve. So don't be rigid. I mean, I think a lot of people, when I talk to them and I do a coaching session, and some of the things that they're most proud of sometimes in their business is not the most effective. It's not the most profitable or the most generating of opportunity, but it's something that's really dear to them. So by adapting and evolving and tracking, you honestly have the ability to tell yourself, you're choosing to do something that's not that effective, or you're leaving a lot of business on the sideline because you're not focusing on the things that in the past have really worked. All right, so let's talk a little bit about a case study on a niche. So we'll talk about myself and being perfectly honest and transparent with you guys. So let's run me through it, review and reflect. Same thing that you guys should be doing. Again, you could work with a partner and you could do it on each other, answer these questions so that you're getting some accountability and some partnership. That might be an option. And otherwise, yeah, you can definitely do it on your own. All right, so you're going to answer all these same questions that I have. I'm going to answer them, and then it leads me to a niche that I created a few years ago that I'm really passionate about and I keep generating. All right, so where am I now in my real estate business? I have a successful real estate business, but I feel like I have too many lead sources active in order to generate the results that I want. So I want more business from less data points. What has been successful in the past 3 to 6 months for me in my business? Success has been inbound business, repeat from past clients, and referrals from realtor partners across the world, across North America, across Canada, and working on investment properties or helping people find investment properties. So that has been lots of success in the past 3 to 6 months. What's been crappy in my business in the past 3 to 6 months? Well, it pains me every time it happens, losing clients who I did a great job for 5+ years ago. I received a glowing testimonial from them. I tried to stay in touch. I think I have a really good, 50+ touch point system, and yet they still chose to use a different realtor. And often it's because they are more closely connected to that new person that became a realtor or is a realtor. And my touch points weren't enough to be front of center, front of mind, and they started working with someone else. So, that really, really, really hurts me whenever that happens, and it's really draining. What makes me most happy and excited about my business and has been over the past 3 to 6 months? So I love working with clients who appreciate my experience, clients that view me as a professional and value my time. I really love clients that understand the difference between, and no stress on new agents, but like the difference between my experience at 15 years and someone who might have just been in the business for a year and a half. And so I love working with those clients that ask the right questions and expect a certain level. So what do I want more of in my business? I want more offer-ready clients with experience who can tell the value and the difference that I offer with my 15+ years of history. What do I want less of in my business? I want less looky-loos. I want to work with less people who ask a lot of questions, want to look at a lot of inventory, and don't really know what they want and don't really take advice. And I really, really don't want clients that you need to re-recruit. What I mean by that is clients that are like, yeah, I want to work with you, and then they feel like they found something over here and they want to work with that person, and then they choose not to do anything for a while, and then they re-recruit, re-interview other realtors. I value my time, I value your time, my client's time, and so I really don't want to do that. Where do I want my business to be in a year? I want my business to kind of be 33% bigger than it was last year, and do that by not going wider with more lead sources, but going deeper with my, with my niche, with my passion areas. So what's my unique ability? All right. I work harder than most agents, and I understand real estate values really well. I can evaluate properties, and I know how to get a deal done. I can negotiate almost all different types of transactions now. So many of the situations I've been in, years ago, the earlier version of me would have been like, there's no way that this deal is coming together. There's no opportunity here. And that is no longer the case. I know how to get a deal done. I'm passionate about real estate, about being a real estate professional, and I like to share my negotiation skills and my industry skills with my clients. I get energy from doing deals and moving people forward, and I love constantly improving with learning more about my profession and learning again how to do the transaction better. So those are kind of my unique abilities. Now, what fills my bucket and what drains my bucket, and keeping in mind that we can't eliminate all of these things. And as you get more and more experience, as you have more leverage in people in your world, you can maybe, you can do less of the things you don't want to. But again, figuring this out is really powerful in making sure that the niche that you're designing, you're pouring your heart and soul into, is the right one. All right. So I love being a trusted guide in the real estate buying and selling process, being relied on, being referred, being recommended, being seen as an industry leader, being valued for my time and experience, and getting right down to business right from the start. Those things really fill my bucket. Things that drain my bucket, that exhaust me, that I want to avoid is random and surface interactions. So I really don't want to talk to someone if they're going to talk to 20 realtors after me because they're not listening to what I'm saying. I don't want to door knock. I don't really want to do small talk. I don't like cold calling. Don't like housewarming parties. I don't like wasted time. And so those things, although pretty much all of those things, most of those things, I have done in the past by building a niche, by being aware of my business and working on my business. I've been able to generate more results from areas that I like and eliminate needing to do things that I don't like, to eliminate things that drain my bucket. So how do I pick a niche? Well, I figured out my unique ability is that I get deals done with people who trust me. I figured out that what fills my bucket is completing transactions, referrals, and happy clients. And the value that I offer is I'm 100% fiduciary to my clients. I'm trustworthy, honest, and hardworking, and I know I do a great job. So the clients that make me happy are clients who want to work with me. They're serious, they're ready to transact, and they see me as a professional, and they don't want to be my best friend. They just want me to be the best realtor I can be for them and guide them forward to their sale or purchase. And the kind of clients I want to do more of or have more business with, I want more clients who know the difference that comes with 1,000+ transactional experience and 15+ years in the business. And so that is, that's the type of clients I like. So what did I come up with several years ago? My niche is realtor referrals. So you might be watching this from another part of Canada, another part of North America. And if you're not in Vancouver, you might have received it through my newsletter or any number of different ways that I've been marketing some of the training that I've been doing and giving away. And so part of, creating a large list of realtor referrals and partners and having both inbound and outbound referrals is finding ways that I can give value, and training like this hopefully does that. And so my strengths, I like to network with other realtors to create referral partners. My weakness, I sometimes move too fast and assume that I have the business after referral is made, forgetting that some people really need to build more of a friendship, or they need to like you before they want to work with you. And that's not my natural personality. And so sometimes that nips me in the butt. Opportunities, 75% of all realtors turn over every 3 to 4 years. So there's a never-ending list of referral partnerships available. And so I'm constantly working on finding other great people in all different markets across North America. As I get more and more outbound referrals, I always want to make sure that I have a great realtor that I can recommend. And so that's always an opportunity. threats with my niche of realtor referrals is that there's already, well-established referral partners between realtors in high turnover areas. And sometimes you can think that it's going to take you forever to find a partner agent that will send you business from a specific area because you don't have early mover advantage in this type of niche. So identify and research. What have I done when I designed and was growing my referral realtor niche? I researched where the main geographical sources of inbound people are that go to Vancouver from all points in North America. I researched what industries and companies are the main sources of inbound people to Vancouver. I created an action plan of cities to start building my referral partnerships with, and I work on it daily. I learned which realtors around me are the main competitor for inbound referrals that are already doing it, and I tried best not to use their existing referral partners. Common sense. If they're doing a lot of inbound referrals with a certain agent in a certain area, I have to find another superstar because that person already has an established relationship in Vancouver. What have I done? I research and study market trends to become the local expert for inbound referrals. I attend events that will strengthen my skills, and I invest into ongoing education. I've built a strong online presence, and I've done that by creating a few custom websites. So one of those websites is called Move to Vancouver, Canada. And so we have the website and we have the socials where we're creating content and pushing out information, and people follow up and they remember seeing it, and there's content on there for people who want to move to Vancouver or already living in Vancouver but currently don't own. I've created a more micro website for North of the Bridges, and again, this is for all things in, if you know Vancouver, north of the bridges, so from Deep Cove to Horseshoe Bay. And again, what I'm looking to do there is to get more of those types of clients. And so I've created a strong online platform for it. We use AI to create blogs for our websites, and we have a section on each website for service provider where we are partnering with service people in that area and giving them free exposure, giving them lots of referrals as a result, and creating more partnerships and expanding my reach through a strong online presence. I've joined organizations like Keller Williams Relocation and other relocation services to make sure that I'm connecting with referral partner realtors where there's inbound realtor opportunities into Vancouver. I network multiple times a year away from my city. So I go to other parts of North America for my education so that I can learn and I can also build those partnerships. And I'm working daily on connecting with referral partners. I call a certain number of referral agents every day, and I'm constantly staying in touch, seeing if there's anything I can help them with, share with them, answer anything, and showing that I care, showing that I'm communicating, and that does get business. I've created a monthly Roland Referral Realtor newsletter. Some of you might be watching this who've gotten a link for this training from it. I've created a monthly Move to Vancouver, Canada Spanish edition newsletter going out with the Spanish strategy that we have. I've hired a Spanish growth coordinator that is expanding my referral partnerships and the inbound referrals from South America. I provide exceptional service. I appreciate the inbound referrals by thanking them initially and sending them a small gift right away. I appreciate the inbound referrals by adding them to my Roland Kim referral contest. And I also, when a deal completes, I send them 30% commission for all closed business up to 3 years. And that's way more than industry average. So it shows my appreciation. I'm also willing to, when it adds value, if the inbound referral agent sees value in it, I'm offering to CC them on all the touch points and transactions and communications that we engage in the course of doing a transaction. And that referring agent finds it very helpful because they get to see all my systems. They get to really R&D it afterwards, rip off and duplicate if there's things in there that work for them. And I provide free training events such as this one with the goal of giving to get. So I hope that I can fill your bucket. And if you don't already have a great referral partner in Vancouver and you're watching this, hopefully I get the opportunity to apply for that role when you have a referral. And I ask for feedback and reviews from my clients. I use well, I've done all these things. I use a CRM system that tags my data, that tags the clients that are related or sourced from referral partners. I send out follow-ups to my referral partners. I send follow-ups to leads that come in from this strategy. And I constantly track, yeah, at least twice a year. I'm evolving and evaluating my niche, seeing what else is out there. I look at competitors, not only in my marketplace but elsewhere, and figure out, what are other people doing that is causing success for them, and should I adapt some of those into my business? Should I evolve them into the next steps in my business? And I constantly am tweaking it through active monitoring and adapting. Um, that is my niche and how I kind of built it. I always find these Zoom events are fun, but I can't tell if someone's still on at the end aware. This would be the amazing point where you could ask any questions you might have with what your possible niche could be. And otherwise, if you are watching this in the future, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I love masterminding. And if you want to talk about anything real estate related, or yeah, I could be there to help. And let me stop the recording right now. Thank you for watching.